But I have been in a pond quite close to here, actually, down there a couple of kilometres off of RSPB Arn on the National Trust land. And I've been in the water and these things have been nibbling my legs. Why was I there? Well, because one of my favourite invertebrates lives there, and I returned the other day to try and find it. I first came to this pond 39 years ago. It's a fantastic place for lots of dragonflies, but there is one other animal that lives here, possibly my favourite invertebrate in the UK. Quite difficult to spot because they rest around the edges of the pond here, and I can see one now. It's resting on the bank. Tricky to see, very well camouflaged, and it needs to be. I'm talking about Dolomedes fibriatus, the raft spider. And they are extraordinary spiders, simply sensational. They like these ponds on acid heathland. It's one of their favourite places for them. Now you can see it's on the bank with its rear limbs resting on that bank, but its forelimbs out touching the surface of the water. And they are equipped with some extraordinarily sensitive hairs that pick up the vibrations of anything. So, if a wasp falls in, or a pond skater skips by, or a dragonfly has an accident, she will skate far better than any Torval and Dean out across the surface of that water and assassinate it. But she's got other tricks up her sleeve. Firstly, these spiders can dive beneath the surface of the water. They're covered in a layer of soft, velvety hairs which trap air. But the favourite thing about this spider, from my perspective, is the fact that they will put those limbs out onto the water and twinkle their toes like this, attracting the attention of small fish like minnows or sticklebacks, which will come up, attempt to nibble the spider's feet, at which point it will jump straight through the surface of the water, seize the fish and eat it. Happening here, on Arn, fish-eating spider, sensational. And that's what they do, they just sit there like that, dead static, all day, all night, hunting at night as well, don't need their eyesight, so sensitive to those vibrations. And if anything falls in here now, any foolish fly takes a tumble, it's dead meat on the pond surface. Wonderful.
You're so enthusiastic about that, aren't you?
I love Dolomedes.
And, you know, I like the way that you stood on the bank and looked at them, but can I just show a photograph? Back in 2003, Chris was in that pond doing exactly that creature, the raft spider.
Those were the days.
That's when you weren't such a wuss, basically, when you actually got in the water.
Well, it wasn't only that. Can I just say, I did it
what?
slightly later in the summer, and those Dytiscus larvae were quite a bit bigger. And when I was in there, they were nibbling my legs the whole time, until they got to the point they nibbled something they shouldn't. That no man wants nibbled by a Dytiscus larvae.
Too much information.
So I didn't fancy giving it a second go.
I think it's time for a mindful moment, isn't it?